This is my story, but this is a history because this is a story that God had put in me. Before I left, Vietnam was under communist regime. The freedom of speech is only luxury. If you say something bad about the government, you would put in jail, in prison. As a matter of fact, I was very scared of the intimidations of government at that time because government was like a tyrant. They take away from the freedom to worship who you want to worship, the freedom to speak your mind, the freedom to own your properties, freedom to open your own business, the very core freedom that we're having here. Escaping from Vietnam is a very risky thing. You know that I have three sisters and two brothers, and not wanting to risk of our family life. So basically we have to separate, and especially I was the oldest son. And at that time the communists wanted to draft young Vietnamese to go to war in Cambodia. So I was the oldest son, so that was the reason that my father got me. And another thing that we didn't want to do is that we didn't want to take any of my sisters because you heard of the stories that many Vietnamese refugee women were raped by Thai fishermen who turned into pirates. So the risk is too high. My father and I get in a boat. As you know, a fishing boat that were intended for less than few people, fishermen, and we ended with 72 people. The next day, because of the overloaded capacity of the engine, the engine broke down, and we floated back and forth in Pacific Oceans. And can you imagine 72 people lying next to each other? The first thing that I can remember is we couldn't breathe because we have to lie next to each other like sardine in the bottom of the boat. And to hide from the communists, we had to pretend that was a fishing boat so that we can go through the communist patrol. The third night, when our boat reached to the international border, and that evening we ran into about 21 ships that passes by. And as much as we try to get their attention so that they can save us, 21 ships passes by without stopping to save us. The day after, we saw a fishing boat. We raised the flag SOS, and we asked them to come and save us. But when they came, it turned into Thai pirates. They robbed, and they separated us, and then they raped the ladies on the boat. My total journey on Pacific Ocean was 25 days. But so we stay on the boat in order to survive. When we were on their boat, we were forced to do hard labor. When we landed in Thailand, and at that time Thai government decided to close door on political refugee from Vietnam. That was the beginning of 1982. So we were taken right into Thai prison. So after that we went to trial, and the court decided to put my father in prison. Can you imagine, as 14 years old in a foreign land, did not know the language, and they took my father away, and then they put me in a different prison because I was a minor. Yeah, during that time period, my mother and my brother and sister did not know what was happening to us. My first day in America, I remember landing when the airplane was landing to San Francisco that afternoon. That was one of the best moments in my life. I feel like get out the airplane and kiss the land because it had taken so long, and with sweat and tears and pain just to get that. That was the destination of that this for land of opportunity. So that was the first day in America, one of the most happiest moments in my life. And it was overly emotional that we just want to cry. My father and I hold each other, and finally we made it after 3 years. So I was very excited to go to school. I was 17 years old, and I was interrupted with my education for several years, And I started to attend Clement High School when I was 17 years old. And then I graduated as the oldest person from high school. So because of that opportunities given, I took it very seriously. Can you imagine not going to school for several years? Several years. I started all over again, facing that, having to learn the new language, having to learn everything almost from the very basic. But I tried. I tried so hard. I remember carrying the thick dictionary, Vietnamese English dictionary, and almost having to look up every single word. I'm very thankful to God. I was able to catch up very quickly. I was able to study and pass all the tests. And at that time, in addition to regular courses, I had to take 2 ESL class, English as second language. And after graduating from high school, and we become American citizens. And my father and I saved money, and we sponsored my mother and my brother and sister to the U.S. to get reunited. I mean, I came to America. I escaped on a boat, but they got to fly on an airplane, and we paid for their fee. 10 years of separation and get reunited. The important part is that we thought we never would see each other again. But you know, in the moment that we physically hugged each other, it was beyond imagination in the land of America. What set America apart from other nations is that we live in one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all Texans, for all Americans in America and in our district. Those rights must be protected, and I am willing to stand up and protect and defend those rights.